So the idea, what was I thinking about? Where was I? Okay, I was talking about nuclear energy. Oh yeah, the straw that broke the camel's back in the feeling was when I saw that news. And this is a NASA scientist. This is not one of those crazy guys that used to work for the tobacco company. This is not one of those, obscure guys that we never heard of that, that vlogs on the internet. This is not one of those shills for big oil. NASA scientists, looking at what the polar ice caps, 50-50 chance of it melting nearly completely this summer. And that'll affect everything. That'll affect drinking water. And it's not like the oceans are going to rise. That Al Gore stuff scenario might have been a little bit exaggerated. But if the polar ice caps melt completely, the North Pole, it isn't going to be like we're going to be underwater or anything. No, but it's going to affect the snowfall in the high mountain ranges, and that's where we get our fresh water. So we're headed for some interesting times. And for any of you, and I'm ready, bring it on, comment, oh yeah, global warming is cyclical, it's sunspot activity, whatever you want to come up with. We've had climate change in the past, and sure we have. But this is the question. And it seems to be the answer is yes, it's being influenced by man. And anybody that says the earth is too big, there's too much air, there's too much ocean, there's too much land to be affected by human beings, let me put it to you this way. Ever since our ancestors discovered fire or learned how to skin an animal, we've been wanting to change our environment. That's it. Mankind is changing the environment from everything, not just the air and the water, but to the way, our pollution is dumping, our sewage is dumping from all the women and whatever, pharmaceuticals, but a strange thing, all the women taking birth control, the estrogen goes into the ocean and is affecting fish. The sexuality of fish. That they're finding fish that have both male and female organs. It's just strange. And that's what you have to understand, though. There's those things like frogs that are the most effective. They're like the canary in the coal mine. That's the thing that gets affected first. Frogs and small fish, plankton, etc., etc. And then some of you may argue, well, we can't do anything about it because the economy can't take it. You have to think of what the alternative is if we don't do something. It's not going to be just about mere money and feeding our bellies. You have to look at the bigger picture. Oh, look, I hate to be like the guy like bringing on doom, but on the plus side, hey, we're in for a good adventure, very interesting lives. I feel like we're on the verge of something really, really big. I read somewhere once that it used to be a Chinese curse to say to somebody, "May you live in interesting times." Yes, the times are interesting. But you know what? It's the time to test the metal, though, and it does separate, the people that can take it from the people that can't. The nattering nabobs. What was it? Somebody that was and look, let me apologize to my friends that love anarchy, and somebody else that was watching one of my videos and said that I was prattling on. It had something to do with what was that? I never really followed through with that. He even posted a video response. But it had something to do with it had to do with regulating prices in the market. And he was using this whole analogy about if you regulate the price of bread, then people will stop producing less bread. And he said I was prattling. It's funny, look, a word to the wise. Look, if I'm pissed off at you and I want to insult you, I'll just go ahead and do it. But if you're trying to persuade somebody, don't use words like buffoon or prattle. You're not going to win any points by that. You have to show some respect, or else people shut down. They won't listen to you when you tell them to shut up, or you preface the argument by, "Yeah, you're an idiot." It doesn't get you anywhere. What's the idea of a good argument? To try to persuade the person, or at least the audience, over to your side. Too many people have been watching like Bill O'Reilly's and Michael Savage's and stuff like that, you know. And, you know, granted, Keith Olbermann does a little bit of that, but you know what? He's so much more clever. Keith Olbermann deserves a medal. Here's to you, Keith Olbermann. All right, am I about wound up? Winding it up, but I wanted to say, that whole attitude of like really just a very narrow focus on the price of bread and supply and demand, and it's almost like it's like you're distancing yourself. You're seeing human beings as a commodity, as not people that have hungry bellies, that, you know, the market will adjust. So what if a few people starve? So what? You know, we just don't need to do anything because, you know, it'll take care of itself. It'll self-adjust. And I remember, and this is, they say that she never quite said this, but when the Parisians, the folks of France, were rioting because of the high bread prices, and you use the analogy of bread, what did Marie Antoinette say to them? Let them eat cake. And that sounds to me like that type of attitude. No, the market needs to be regulated. We can't let it just go willy-nilly to where it wants to go. And I was watching some program, and I wish I could remember exactly where I saw this, but it was about the idea, look, the price of oil is going up. Yes, demand is going up. I agree, you know, but the rate it's going up is because the market is nervous and there's people speculating. There's no doubt about it in my mind that speculation is helping drive up the cost because there's these futures markets. It's about buying up oil that hasn't even been used and people hoarding it in a weird kind of way, you know. I mean, it's in simple terms. And because people are driving it up, there needs to be some sort of artificial regulate. Okay, getting back to this program. Okay, so the guy's like some Wall Street guy, and he's standing there in like an Armani suit, and he's like, you know, people are blaming us for the price of oil going up. You know, you don't understand. I mean, we're putting our necks out on the line too. These are middlemen. This guy in the Armani suit is not going to go hungry. This guy does not have to worry about putting gas in his car. He's losing somebody else's money. His reputation may be damaged. He may have to go get a real job. But it's not the same thing as the farmer planting corn. It's not the same thing as the guy working in the factory that's lost his job and wonders how he's going to feed his family. Damn it, it's not the fucking same thing. And this whole idea of like, let the market do its thing. And look, you know, people that come from that, what can I say? It's like you don't care. You don't have any empathy for your fellow man. All right, I'm running out of tape. This went on really long. But anyway, here, cheers, the citizenkong. Have a great week despite it all. Hopefully I'll see you next week. Or I might take a break. We'll see. Cheers.